Hey gang, it's David again, back to you with the next part in our My Site Redesign mini-series. And in this one, we're going to focus on adding a My Courses section, and we're basically going to play around a lot with the repeater module inside the Oxygen Builder. So if that's something that you're interested in, just keep watching. So the next part is to create this like My Courses subsection. So I'm going to go to my page and I'm just going to try to find for like this guy right here. So this is this whole div that I'm going to just duplicate and try to put it at the bottom. Let's see if this oxygen tree is going to allow me. Probably not. So maybe first like this and then like this. That might be a bit easier. So I'm going to type in something like my courses. There we go. And I guess we maybe can grab this guy and add like a 50 pixel margin at the bottom. And in here, I'm going to just maybe retype this. So below you'll find some of my recent courses. I'm going to design, click on any one of them, I'm directed to the actual site. So maybe click any one of them and you'll be redirected to the courses site, something like that. Okay, let's not reinvent the wheel right here. So if we consult our like My Courses tab right here, this subsection, basically I think I'm going to use the repeater for this guy that's going to be pulling our custom post types. And I think that even though I just have to like this see the course link, maybe I'm gonna link like this whole guy, like this whole div, but I'm not sure yet. So let's first start with adding the repeater. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add the repeater, and maybe I'm just gonna grab this one and add a margin bottom of M. This should be enough. So I think that since this repeater is staying within this div, we don't need to like play around with the sizing, or maybe we're gonna have to set it like to 100%, but we'll see about that. So the first thing here is to just add the title. I think I'm gonna have to like divide these guys to like two parts and probably add a div right here, but we'll see about that again. So I'm gonna add a div, but maybe I'm gonna change its name. I'm gonna maybe like try to collapse some of these things. So this guy's name is gonna be something like title and subheading or something like that. Title, like title subheading. So I know what it is, and I'm going to duplicate this guy. And maybe I'll just call this one like a link or something like that. So maybe like link course. So these guys are supposed to be set to horizontal. I want to have like two divs like side by side. And in the first one, I'm going to have a heading. So I'm going to just type in heading. But of course, I want this heading to be dynamic. So I'm going to add the title. And I'm not going to be linking it right now. And I'm going to go to my repeater and I'm going to set the query to custom and then the post type. And I think it was like courses, or maybe it was courses too. I'm not really sure right now. And yeah, this should be it. So I guess we could maybe add a class to our heading. So let's do something like course, maybe just course, or let's try to keep the naming convention consistent. So like something like this, heading course, and let's make it like heading 3 maybe. And let's see, the font size right here was set to, if I can just type it in like 32. That might be a bit too big, but I guess we'll see. 32. Let's go to typography and do the line height of 1.1 maybe. This should be, I guess, enough. So next up, I'm gonna add a text, and let's see what I have here. I guess it's just like a bunch of random words, random tags. So I guess this could be also my dynamic part, but this would be like my content. So maybe let's add a class to this as well. So let's do something like course description, course description. There we go. And let's try to do like font maybe 14. Let's see what it is right here. Oh, it's set to 18, so let's do 18. I'm gonna do 18, and let's hide these guys. I'm gonna save this one, and let's actually preview this page. Let's see if the repeater is working correctly. Yeah, I guess it looks all right. It's pulling the right text, but I think that in relation to this title, I think that this guy is way too big, this course title. So I'm gonna grab it, and let's do like maybe 28, or even maybe like 24, and let's go to my actual page, and let's refresh this guy. Yeah, this is gonna look much better. And I'm gonna just grab like this div, this main repeater div, and maybe let's add our margin bottom, but like small, like 25 pixels. So let's see right here. This should be much better. Okay, so I think that it's gonna have to be just a bit smaller right here, but we're gonna fix that in just a second. I mean, this div is gonna be, maybe it will adapt itself, adjust itself once we add like the links, because now we have to add this like see the course guy right here, and then this like an arrow like on the top. So first I'm gonna add, maybe let's actually add like a link, or maybe like a text link, and the URL is going to be advanced custom fields view course. I'm gonna save this guy, because if we go to our like courses, like custom post, at the bottom right here, I just added like a custom field with this like view course right here. And I'm gonna say something like, what was it? See the course. Okay, so see the course, something like that. And we can add a link to it, so something like course link. So add the course, and I think the color is, let me see, it's red, and the arrow is black, so that's gonna be red. I'm gonna go to typography, and I'm gonna make it uppercase, and let's do like font weight of like 600, and this should be enough. But of course, as you can see, this divs, I have to fix the size, so let's do something like maybe 66% for this guy, maybe like 75. This should be enough. So this guy is going to be 25 pixels. And here I'm just going to add an icon. Let's see if we have like a nice arrow icon. I just don't want to do like, I don't want to turn this little arrow into like an image asset and to import it here just to have that exact arrow. That's not actually that important. So let's see if we have something that will also look good, like an arrow, like a small arrow or something like that. Maybe let's try to type something in. Arrow, there it is. This should be all right. So I'm gonna just put it somewhere here, and let's see how big it is. It's quite small. Let me just maybe zoom in. It's like 24 pixels in width. So let's see if I do that right here. This is gonna look something like that, and I'm gonna use my not really black color. So I'm gonna hide these two guys, and maybe I'm going to increase the size of this div from 75 to something like 80. So this guy would be 20. And let's hide these elements. Yeah, I guess that's not going to be enough. So, and we still need some like padding right here. So I'm gonna go back to like 25, and I'm gonna grab this guy, and maybe I'm gonna do something like 70%, and I'm gonna add like a margin of 5% or something like that. This might look just a bit better. So now I guess we have to move, if I just zoom back out, we have to move this, like this guy, like to the bottom of the div. So let me just grab all of these elements. I'm gonna grab my repeater, or maybe this div. Let me just go to my blog, and let's just do like the bottom and vertical item alignment to the bottom. and I'm just going to hide it. And maybe, you know, when I'm looking at this guy, I can see that I only have like some like basic tags right here. So maybe it would be better to add those tags instead of this like whole excerpt. But that would require us to go into the custom fields, and I'm going to just edit the courses. And in here we got the view course. So I'm gonna add something like, I don't know, course tags, something like that. Maybe like course tags. And it's gonna be like a simple text. And I'm gonna update this guy. So now when I go to my courses, and I'm gonna go to tag the first one, down here I'm gonna have like these course tags, and we could simply, for instance, just grab these elements. If I can just copy these, I'm gonna go to here and I'm just going to paste that in. I'm gonna update. And now let me just quickly do this for the rest of the guys. Okay, so I've added these little course tags to all of my courses. So now I'm just going, maybe I'm gonna first save this guy, and I'm going to refresh the page. And now I'm just going to replace this dynamic, let me just see that. So replace this dynamic content like this, well, basically my post content with the advanced custom field course tags, and I'm going to insert that. I'm going to click on done. And as you can see, now we have like a different set of different fields, like different tags. And this is what it's gonna look like right now. And I think that we still need to like fix maybe some like line height right here. And maybe I'm gonna change the font to something smaller, like maybe 15. And I'm gonna go to typography, line height 1.1 or maybe 3. This should be all right. And if it really is all right, we're about to find out, something like that. And maybe I'm going to add some margin right here. And I don't think I've added the tags for these guys. I'm sure I was sure I did, but I guess I'm going to have to check that. So, but before that, I'm going to grab maybe this heading, and I'm going to maybe add like this margin small, like that. And still, maybe let's grab this guy, and I think I'm gonna maybe play around with the font size. Let's do something like 16, maybe. Like that was a bit too much. So let's see now. I guess it looks just a bit better. And I'm thinking that maybe we could add something like a line, like a border. Let's see if that's gonna look all right. So I'm gonna go to border bottom. Let's do our, you know what, let's do like a very light gray color, something like that. And let's do width 1 and solid. And let's grab our description, so this one, and let's add our margin bottom maybe, but that's gonna move it to somewhere here. Let's see what it looks like right now. I just want to have some like, you know, like a separation between all of these elements. It kind of looks okay, but maybe this line is a bit too visible, and maybe I won't do the margin, but I'm gonna do the padding. So I'm gonna grab this guy and do something like 25 pixels of padding, and I'm gonna do to our borders, border bottom, and maybe I'm gonna do something lighter. I'm gonna grab like this red color, and I'm gonna do it maybe just a bit darker, something like that. And now let's see what it looks like. I'm probably gonna change my mind over and over again. It actually looks quite all right, but I still do think that this the course is a bit too big. So again, I'm gonna grab this guy, go to typography and change it to something like maybe 14, which maybe is gonna allow us to make this whole div just a bit smaller. So let's do like 20, and then I'm gonna grab this guys. I just want to, you know, like have more room to accommodate these course tags. So let's do like 80%. Now let's see what it's gonna look like. I think it looks just a bit better, but maybe we still need some more like space between these elements. So I'm gonna grab again this div, and it had like 25 pixels of padding. So let's do like 25 to the top. Let's save this guy. and I think I'm gonna leave it like that because, you know, I could be like playing around with these guys all afternoon. So let me just maybe go to my all courses, and I was pretty sure that I did add the tags. So I'm just going to maybe copy these tags, and let's see if this works. Maybe I did something incorrectly, which is possible. So I don't have these guys right here, so I'm gonna update these, and we still need the tags for this guy right here. So this one, so let's do, so I'm just going to maybe grab this guy. So I'm going to edit it and paste all those in, and I'm just gonna do something like design tools and maybe UI design. So now if everything is working correctly, and if I refresh, you can see that everything is looking, well, as it's supposed to. So I guess it looks okay, it looks nice. Maybe I'm just going to limit like the number of these elements to something like 3. So I'm gonna go to my repeater and to the custom query, and I'm gonna, for the count, I'm just gonna do like 3, because I think that we still need to add like see my latest courses link. But I'm gonna maybe grab this see more link, and I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm gonna grab this guy. So this is this link. I'm gonna clone it and put it beneath essentially our repeater. And let's see if I have some like margin right here. So we don't need that. And I'm also gonna grab this heading, and let's see if this guy has something here. It has like 50, so I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna do like see my latest courses, something like that. And maybe I'm just gonna remove these auto elements right here. So we're gonna move it like to the left, and I'm gonna grab this repeater, and I don't need the pagination, so I'm gonna have to go to the pagination and set the font size to 0, because this is how it works right here, and it looks kind of okay. I'm just wondering if I should put this guy like to the right, as we did with this element. So maybe we could try to get this, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work okay with the repeater. And then I'm gonna just grab this link, and I'm gonna set the margin to the left, so it looks something like this. Let's save this guy, and maybe I'm just gonna add our margin bottom S. Let's see. I think this one has like a larger margin. Oh, it has 50 to the top. What about this guy? It has margin bottom M set to 50. So maybe let's do the same for this guy. So instead of S, I'm gonna do margin bottom M like that, and I'm gonna save this guy. So let's see what it looks like right now. Yeah, I think it looks decent. I think it looks all right. So basically what we have right now is I think that, no, basically basically it's complete. I'm just going to maybe remove this this padding right here, and of course we still need to see what it's gonna all look like on 992. I think it looks all right. Let's see 768. On a 768, I think that maybe we could add like a different color to this, but if we do it like, if we give it our background color like this one, it's gonna like look the same as this guy right here. So I guess we have to leave it as white, and I think that it looks quite decent. Maybe just like at this breakpoint, we could just grab our div and set this layout to vertical and to the left, and I'm gonna maybe grab this div and set its width to 100%. There we go. And same for this guy, so width 100. Although I think that we had like some classes to these. Oh, no, it was just for the, was it for this guy? No, so 100%, 100%. And we could maybe just like, you know, grab this guy and set the link to the right side, or to the center if you want, but I think that right side is going to be just easier for people to just like tap, you know, on the smartphones. So let's see 480, 480. Yeah, it still looks decent. So I guess I'm gonna leave it as is like that. But I think that there's some problem right here with these guys, which is funny because it's supposed to be set which one is it? So this is this guy. So horizontal alignment center, and let's go to 480. I probably need to set the same for the heading, this like subheading. Let's go to advanced typography. Let's set it to center. So let's now go to 480. But I guess we could add like some padding right here for this guy. So let's see for 768. I guess it looks all right. So 480 now it doesn't look all right anymore. So let's add like maybe 15 pixels of padding all around. And it looks a bit better right now. Let me just check the line height for these elements. So I'm gonna go to typography. Let's set the line height to like 1.3. So now if we go to like 768 or even 480, it looks much better. So yeah, I guess this should be all right. So maybe the last thing here would be to just in order to keep things consistent, is like this link is set to the center. So I'm gonna go down here, and on this link wrapper, I'm just gonna say left margin auto and right auto to just push this guy to the center, and this part would basically be complete. So let's just see what it looks like in the front end basically. So we got our portfolio right here, we got our courses, and we got the contact information down here. And maybe we could, for the contact information, like edit the template, but I'm gonna see how that plays out later on. But basically our the front page is created. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, I do encourage you to hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and as always, have a nice design.